news.
Along those lines, spending lots of money and government not being very good at dealing with things. The California Post, our friends right down here in downtown LA, I love how they are like the New York Post has a California division now. They're doing some good reporting over there. So now there's a rogue mini town. The other day you showed me that creepy video of the guy like living underneath the sidewalk. Like in the storm shelter. Amongst things that looked like what you pulled out of the pool. Pretty much.
Yes.
Now there's a rogue mini town that's rising inside Los Angeles' billion-dollar homelessness crisis, where the homeless are building tiny homes, including televisions, air conditioning, and selling them on the street for as little as $100. They talked to one guy, 38 years old. He lives in this burst of bright orange, green, and yellow building that he's made in this small structure. He says he's really proud of his space and he cleans it up every single day. He even has air conditioning. Before living in this home, this gentleman lived a block away in a tent and a tarp, but he said it was too much fighting and drugs. This provides him more protection, and he's made almost 10 houses so far that he sells for about $100 a pop. Here's a video of it.
Show me what you have here. How do you get the?
It's got a TV.
Yeah, it's a Telemundo.
What are you connected to?
We have electricity.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got an air conditioner?
Yeah.
It's nicer than the room I grew up in. I've got to be honest with you. I didn't have an air
Does the
conditioner.
rain come through the roof? Yeah, so it gets wet. It's supposed to rain on Thursday. Do you cover it with a tarp or? Yeah.
First off, the guy doesn't speak English, and she's doing an interview with him.
Oh.
And secondly, turn down the Telemundo.
What
We're doing an interview here.
Bring an interpreter next time.
Yeah.
Oh, your speaker. Got it. Your bed. How long you been here?
Almost 2 years.
Yeah. Does the city leave you alone? No problem?
Sometimes.
Then sometimes?
Yeah.
What else? Where do you get all this stuff from? No.
All right.
You paint them?
Listen, here's the whole thing.
He can't understand them.
People will do whatever they're going to do and whatever you let them do.
Yeah.
So if you start saying, well, I'll tell you what, taxes are on the honor system now, well, then no more taxes. That's how it works. And paying parking tickets are on the honor system as well. Well, then no more paid parking tickets.
Yep.
And sleep, live for free, park your RV wherever. Well, then people are going to do it. I remember being in Portland. Guy had like a 32-foot RV. He had the thing hooked up, pulling power off the power pole. He had water running to it.
I mean, it's innovative.
I will say this. If you can parallel park a 32-foot Winnebago in the city and
downtown Portland,
and then climb up a telephone pole and pull power off it, and then tap into a water main, you are more employable than anyone in this building.
So why don't you go get a job?
That's what I'm saying.
Apparently this guy, so now he's made this a business. He's built 10 of these little homes out of scraps and trash, clearly, and he's selling them to his neighbors for $100. And
Right.
he also said that he does work odd jobs, and that's how he pays for his food.
Right, but Nithya Raman, the woman who's second in the mayoral race in Southern California, is not going to do anything about this in Los Angeles. Yet, if you want to build a custom tree house that delights the neighborhood kids and has been a landmark in your neighborhood for 25 years, she will make sure that is torn down because you don't have the proper permitting for it. So that's LA, everybody. Don't you love it? All right, Alicia, what else we got?
We have a very, very disturbing update in the story of that poor Ukrainian refugee, the 23-year-old woman that was fatally stabbed last year. Remember this happening in North Carolina?
Yes.
Well, now a North Carolina court has ruled that the offender and murderer, Carlos Brown Jr., is incapable to proceed on the state murder charge in the killing of that refugee, Irina Zarutska, on the Charlotte Light Rail. They're saying that he is mentally incapable and that as of now, the trial is at a standstill. X, Instagram, TikTok, everybody's blowing up talking about this. It's like, I get that justice is blind and that we need, to give everybody the benefit of the doubt until proven guilty. But it's like, if the court proceeding, like if the prosecution can't even proceed, how is there justice in this situation like this? This is insane.
Agreed. I mean, there's lots of disturbing stuff about this, which is, one is the murals that they put up with her on it always get defaced.
That there was an update on that earlier this week.
Yeah.
They were like, well, we don't like what it stands for. It's upsetting the community.
No, that's two separate stories. One is it got taken down. The other is it just gets spray painted over by folks who can't tolerate it. It also kind of says who you are, where you are, and how you vote. Like, so what the left has, all they have is narratives. That's all they have. They don't have facts. They don't have tangible stuff. They just have narratives, and, when they sit down with AOC and they're like, January 6th, you were this close to losing your life, or worse. Oh, you were going to be raped, and then they were going to kill you. Right, except for I wasn't in the building. But other than not being in the building.
And she has no comment on the women that happened to at the Nova Festival.
Right, no comment. So all they have is narratives. That's all they have is narratives. This poor kid wearing he got his Yoda backpack on, and his dad is being chased by ICE, and ICE has left him alone. This guy, what's his name? He's a pediatric nurse who just went out to help and he got shot by. All they have is narratives. Hands up, don't shoot. He's a gentle giant. Everything.
Yep.
George Floyd. All they have is they had the Baltimore dad or whatever. Just all they have is narratives. And so when all you have is narratives and you don't have any facts or anything works in your direction, anything we can put on paper, it's all narratives. And you think about everything with ICE. Everything is ICE. They're kicking open doors. There's no badges. They don't identify themselves. They're grabbing citizens, and they're disappearing them into sweatshops in Honduras. Okay, it's all narratives.
Yep.
Well, so with narratives, you got two narratives. You got our bullshit narrative about January 6th, insurrection, armed insurrection, bloody armed insurrection, deadly insurrection. Okay, narrative. And then once in a while, shit pops up that fucks with your narrative, which is a Ukrainian blonde girl being brutally killed by a black man who goes through your system. And by the way, you're the system that created, the school to prison pipeline. He fell through the cracks. We need no cash bail. These people are being warehoused and black men. And your narrative now has been destroyed by this. And you hate it. You hate it.
That's why the mainstream media doesn't cover stories like this, because it doesn't fit.
They're all narrative based, and they hate this because you're either helping the narrative by you take Kyle Rittenhouse and turn him into a rogue racist assassin who went down to the George Floyd parade and started shooting people for no reason or whatever. You have your bullshit narrative, and then you have ones like these, and these bother you. And so what you have to do with these narratives, and your two narratives, you have your bullshit narrative that you need to boost, which is body counts and January 6th and all the other bullshit, and everybody came here as hardworking,
mass incarceration and wrongful incarceration of black men for crimes.
You got all that, and then you got ones you need to tamp down, and the ones you need to tamp down were like, Joe Biden has lost his mind. Oh, that's just a cheap fake. That's just a little slice. Somebody took that at the Juneteenth celebration. Doesn't mean anything.
Wandering away at the G8 summit.
Right. He was helping out a paratrooper that had landed in a sandbar. Yeah. Okay. So this is bad for them. Needs to be tamped down, and the murals remind people of their broken narrative. So then the person who runs the city where the mural goes up, if he's a lefty, and he probably is, has to get up there and explain people are upset. We need to they're upset because it's hurting their narrative. So we'd like it taken down. Now, you don't put in major cities in New York, they have a big thing that's a big counter that says how many people die of smoking every year. That would upset Dawson. But he's not part of your narrative, and he's not on the happy side of this thing. So that stays up. The thing that shows how many people die of smoking every year.
They want to shame Dawson.
Right.
They don't want to shame
but this
the guy
one
that stabbed an innocent Ukrainian woman.
Right. There is a clip of that mayor, and I don't even know
Talking
where
about
it
the
was.
mural.
Yeah, he's just like
it was insensitive. It was making people uncomfortable.
I would be upset if I lived in Minnesota and I see the George Floyd mural. I'd say that guy is a felon. That guy is a thug. That guy's a bad guy, and fuck that guy. So I would be upset.
If it's on a private business, though, it'd be like a high roll and move on. Like it's their First Amendment right to like have that on the side of their business, and I think that was what happened.
There is a guy, I don't know why it upsets Rudy, who's from Minnesota, because they have like a walk of fame, and they have Prince, and they have, Paul Bunyan or Bud Grant
and then they have
or something.
George Floyd.
Yes. And it's like for the guys who live there and appreciate the music and the culture and everything, that lump this fucking felon in with that guy.
I'm surprised Prince isn't rolling over in his grave over
he
that.
He may have.
Sheesh.
All right, let's listen to the mayor, I guess. I don't know where's the mayor of. I can tell by his haircut I don't like him.
Every community member that calls Providence home feels safe, and we can both agree that this mural behind us does not reflect Providence's values, nor does it reflect the creativity that we want to see in our city.
Okay, so he's a representative.
Is he Rhode Island? Is that
no, a representative from Providence, but it's Providence, North Carolina.
Oh,
so it's the district in which the mural was painted. Yep.
So it makes people feel unsafe to see a waif model who's dead portrayed on a brick side of a building?
Yeah, I guess so.
Unsafe. It makes people, and by the way, what is this? I feel unsafe. Murals can't make you feel. By the way, Poly High, which is in a very Hispanic part of Sun Valley, California, there's a big mural up there. We got to see if it's still there, Dawson. Cesar Chavez is on that mural, and I
paint over that.
Feel unsafe now that I've heard about what that guy was up to.
Although somebody did make a really good point, we could just change all Cesar Chavez named buildings to Julio Cesar Chavez.
It's good, but Mario Lopez did call me a couple days ago, and he likes my idea.
Oh yeah, what was it?
Mario Lopez Junior High, Mario Lopez Boulevard,
yep,
Mario Lopez Auditorium, Mario Lopez Library.
Famous Californian hasn't raped 12-year-olds.
Man, all the man does is
I think the thing that pissed me off the most about that story is how the lady waited for so long. And this is the leftist, a glimpse into the leftist idea of, this mural of a dead immigrant, which, wait, I thought we were okay with Ukrainian immigrants and we supported Ukraine. At least that's what the left said they did for so long. Like Russia bad, Ukraine good. Her story only matters if it aligns, like you pointed out, with their perspective. But then it shows how they are willing to sacrifice all of the things that they claim to be true, like rape is wrong, Me Too, pay attention to it, all of this stuff. Trump hates women, Republicans hate children, yada, yada, Epstein list, et cetera, et cetera. But then when a woman waits 60 years and covers up for a guy like Chavez, who they think are like, yay, our guy. She literally said in the interview with the New York Times, I didn't say anything because I didn't want to mess with the movement.
Right.
Like, that is messed up. Like, if you are willing to set aside your self-preservation and morals for the movement, left, right, and center, that's cultish behavior.
Well, it's real simple with the mural. If the guy who stabbed her was wearing a MAGA hat, then you guys would be fine with the mural.
Be sommelier.
But the guy was black and looks like he would vote for you, and it's the kind of guy you're trying to claim as a victim. So now you're not okay with the mural. I want to hear what this retard had to say one more time, because
it's not what his community stands for. A mural for a dead woman is not what his community stands for.
And it's dangerous, too. All right.
Ultimately, we want to make sure that every community member that calls Providence home feels safe. And we
What
can
about
both
the ones
agree
who get
that
stabbed?
this mural behind us does not reflect Providence's values, nor does it reflect the creativity that we want to see in our city.
By the way, we're now at the point with Democratic politicians where they're speaking gibberish.
Yes.
It doesn't reflect creativity.
They want creativity that doesn't paint white people on buildings.
But versus nothing, I would argue murals are all creative because they're murals. They're paintings, which is a creation, and it's part of that process. But they all have values. By the way, leftists don't even know what they're talking about anymore. They just go values, seat at the table. I'm literally
Unsafe.
Yes, Andrew. I sit around and I think about this all the time, but I want to make a faux campaign ad for me running for senator where it's just me listening to black people, and it's all pictures of me listening to black people, different events, listening. Lots of shots of me listening while
Lots of
black
B-roll,
people talk, and it's Adam Carolla. He listens, and he's going to fight Trump, and I think that's about all you
You
need.
could
Just
probably-
pictures of me nodding and listening.
You could probably win a mayoral race in this state.
Yes, Adam
gonna
Carolla.
happen.
He listens to black people. Look at the film.
Look.
All right. So sorry. Another story. This one's sad.
Another First
By
Amendment.
the way, if you kill someone randomly, viciously, and violently who's just sitting around, I need to put you down. You're rabid dog at this point. Sorry. Listen, here are the rules of
think-
society. I got room for you driving drunk and clipping someone at night when the rainstorm or something. I don't need you executed. If you're just going to randomly execute other citizens for no reason whatsoever, then you need to be executed.
It's so ironic. It's like she's on public transportation. She is an immigrant from a nation that they say that they claim to support, and a woman. I guess maybe she's a white woman. It doesn't matter as much to them. But and she's unsafe. They've made the city completely unsafe, and now this guy, TBD if he will be, up for a retrial. I don't know, maybe they'll try a different charge, maybe they'll try to get a second opinion. I bet you the prosecutor is just livid at this point. It's insane.
Yes.
But an illegal win for those of us that love freedom in the First Amendment. An attorney, Connor Fitzpatrick, representing a student. Remember the San Diego high school student that had the pro-ICE posters, and then he was suspended from his school down there in Torrey Pines?
Yeah.
17-year-old Torrey Pines high school junior who's gone unnamed, of course, because he's a minor. He had the "We Heart ICE" signed Real Americans during lunch. The flyers were quickly torn down, and days after the incident, the student was hit with a one-day suspension for what the school officials allegedly called, quote-unquote, demonizing and hateful speech.
Well, what's great about them? It's always funny to me. It's like if you're a flight attendant for American Airlines, you can wear a little badge with the gay flag on it, but you can't wear a badge that has MAGA or Republican or anything.
Probably can't wear a cross or Sword of St. James or
and
Star of
and
David.
so you go, why not? And they go, we don't allow any kind of political. And it's like you don't, because you're organizing anti-ICE marches.
Yep, teachers were and
Yes.
students were doing the walkout. So this is what attorney Connor Fitzpatrick, who represents FIRE, which stands for the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression. They do some really great work. He said that the school administrators, of course, to your point, can't pick and choose which opinions students are allowed to express. Voicing an opinion which makes others upset is not harassment or intimidation. It's American democracy in action, and turns out it's protected by the First Amendment. So
Also-
the district has now had to reverse this decision. They've wiped the suspension from this kid's record. Good.
And let me say this as well. Listen, pussies, if you are fearful or scared of a mural of a blonde chick, or you can't hold down your lunch because someone is down with ICE who's trying to protect your scrawny ass anyway, then fuck off. And there's people there's people come in here, there's a uniformed cop in this donut shop, and some of the patrons feel threatened. Fuck off. If you feel threatened by law enforcement or ICE.
You should only feel threatened if you're doing something bad.
Yes,
right?
If you feel threatened by a mural
Yeah.
or law enforcement, get the fuck out of this country. Then, sorry, you have a problem. And by the way, if you can't travel without your dog, fuck right off too. You have a mental disorder. We don't have to make it a flying kennel, and we don't have to get rid of cops and kick them out of the donut shops, and we don't have to paint over the mural. That's your problem.
Actually-
There's something wrong with you. And by the way, I don't really think you're scared of cops because when shit goes down, you call cops.
You call or you threaten to call.
Right.
Like Central Park Karen.
Right.
Yes, I'm going to call the cops.
I'm scared of the chupacabra, but I'm consistent. I don't threaten to summon the chupacabra if someone's giving me a hard time, you know?
I was talking to some minority girlfriends of mine this week, and two of them on two different occasions called me to vent about how they were like, how come the most racist people are the rich white liberals in corporations that speak down to the minority woman and like pretend that they know better? Like
Yes.
they're like without, and these women are more on the left, and they're like without fail, it's always like the white Karens or the legalese HR guy in corporate America that tells you how he loved Biden and Kamala, but then says something racist and speaks down to you because he thinks you're an idiot.
Well, it's the soft bigotry of low expectations. I mean, when Gavin Newsom was sitting in there going, how are these people supposed to get checking accounts? It's like, you're talking about them like they're animals and you're a zookeeper. You should expect how they're supposed to get IDs to vote. You know what I mean? Like, you want to talk about that ultimate racist is not thinking somebody is up to something that is very
capable,
basic.
Yep.
Yes.
Capable
All
of
right.
taking care of themselves.
Tomorrow night and Saturday night, Salt Lake City, everyone, Utah, Wise Guys Comedy Club. I think Chuck and Chris are coming out there too,
fun.
so it's going to be a party. 6 o'clock show, 8:30. 2 nights. And then Sunday, Solana Beach, Belly Up, which is a fun rock and roll club. Jonathan Kite's going to be out there as well, doing a couple shows there, 6:30, 9:30. Phoenix, after that, Desert Ridge Improv, 5 shows.
Ooh.
Wow. That's it. And Alicia Krause going to be there.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
17th through 9th. You go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows, the merch store, and all that kind of stuff. Alicia Krause, lifestyle writer from Daily Wire. I don't know what it said, but it's good. Plug it, baby. AliciaKrause.com is where you go.
AliciaKrause.com, the Gram, Daily Wire for my take on. I wrote my first album review.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I want to hear it,
Okay.
but not now. Luke Hemsworth, everyone. Beast in theaters tomorrow. And until next time, it's Adam Carolla, Alicia Krause, and Luke Hemsworth saying mahalo. All right, so you got some news.
Let's do it, huh? So this has been making the rounds. Customer orders Charlie Kirk's Starbucks drink and finds disturbing hate message. Employee gets fired. This is an Ohio woman ordered Charlie Kirk's to go to Starbucks drink, which, by the way, what do you think that is, Ace?
There's a Charlie Kirk drink?
Yeah, so it's not like it's named after him at Starbucks. It was what he would order when he went to Starbucks.
Oh, I didn't.
And people have been ordering it ever since September 10th. Yeah.
I see, because it would seem very off-brand to have them dedicate a drink to them, but people are ordering that. I'm looking at a thing that says mint something on it, honey and whatever. So he does a tea, I'm guessing.
They popped the balloon there. Yeah, minty majesty tea with 2 honeys.
2 honeys.
2 honeys.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that, but I wouldn't know. And by the way, the people in their beverages are all over the road. It's hard to connect them. You know, I can do a lot of racial profiling and do lots of profiling and know where people are going with stuff. Drinks, I never know. I never know who's the latte, who's the almond latte. I mean, pain in the ass chick is always, the bigger pain in the ass you are in life, the longer your Starbucks drink is. That much I know, but I would have never guessed Charlie Kirk. I would have thought, I think Republican guy, conservative guy, just think black coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, I always see the guys that are outside of the Starbucks, like the road construction guys, and it's all the dudes in the reflective vests, and then there's the one guy who's like maybe from the city or maybe from corporate, who's like the project manager, and the guy goes in and orders 6 black coffees, and then he needs a minty fruit latte with whipped cream on top and sprinkles, and you're like, I know exactly who that drink is going for.
I was behind someone who ordered light foam. And I was like, you like foam or don't you like foam, bitch? In or out with your fucking foam. So she wrote something, this is for the racist or whatever.
Yeah, so on the side of the drink, it was handwritten, racist fave drink on the side of the cup. This woman complained to corporate. She went and talked to Kroger's, who ran that certain Starbucks. The employee had admitted to writing on the side of the cup and was immediately fired on spot.
Good. And the thing about racist is let's stop throwing it around so sort of willy-nilly. It's a big thing. It's also a reason to put someone in the ground. So I don't know what their thing is on the left, but everyone look, I have thoughts about what ails the black community, but that doesn't make me racist. I have thoughts about what ails many communities and many white people as well. That doesn't make me anything other than I have thoughts. And we've constructed some sort of system where they're like, well, yeah, but you're not black, but you're not. Okay, I don't play for the Rams, but I have thoughts about what they could have done the other weekend to win a football game. That's what I do. I have thoughts about everything.
Sure.
That's just me. I don't like it's just contained to my kids. I have thoughts about other people's kids as well. So shut the fuck up. What do you mean no thoughts? I have thoughts about how to run everything all the time.
Yeah.
And yes.
Also, me and the boys were in the back talking. Female Republicans have come a long way over the last few years, have they not? Like, look at this lady on the right. That is the new face of the Republican Party, where back in the day you had Barbara Bush.
Oh, I thought this was a chick who wrote on the cup.
No, she's the one who
got the cup.
Yeah, I had to make sure that we were correct in that too. So this is the woman who got the cup.
Yeah.
And then, because you would assume that this is the woman who
She's
wrote
got
on
the
the side.
tats and the head shave and the weird, I don't know, Pomeranian hairdo. I don't know what we call that, but she's the victim of it.
Yeah. Yep.
Also, I don't know what the attraction is to calling people racist. Like, I just don't presume to know what's in their heart. I don't really care. It seems like a weird calorie burner to go after people. Like I don't know. That guy, remember 10 minutes ago, we had to pop the tires of anyone driving a Tesla? Remember that from 10 minutes ago? Back when America wasn't ready for a gay vice president. Remember, we had to go to, this seems like a big calorie burner. Did anyone go, it's an electric car. It's good. It's good for the earth. We used to like Elon. I don't we have to retroactively go pop his tires. It's all like it's like 9-year-old behavior. It's weird.
Remember when it was quaint when Starbucks just decided to put a war on Christmas with Happy Holidays? That was quaint, and now they're calling everybody racist. It feels like
I know. I miss the holidays.
Miss those days, right? Donald Trump slammed statue showing him holding hands with Jeffrey Epstein. This thing is glorious. I was in Washington D.C. yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to swing by and see it. But the new statues erected on the National Mall in Washington D.C. They show Trump and Epstein giddily frolicking together, holding hands with a plaque that reads, "We celebrate the long-lasting bond between President Donald J. Trump and his closest friend, Jeffrey Epstein." Trump did not hold back. In a statement that was made from the White House to TMZ, liberals are free to waste their money however they see fit. But it's not news that Epstein knew Donald Trump because Donald Trump kicked Epstein out of his club for being a creep.
You know what we should do? You know what Trump should do? Here's Trump. If Trump were smart, here's what he'd do. He'd go, I just commissioned a bronze statue of Magellan holding hands with Marco Polo.
Marco Polo, yes.
Two of the greatest explorers, two of the greatest mariners ever. And 10 seconds later, a bunch of fucking Antifa people would show up and just fucking tear it down.
Yeah.
He should we won't know who it is from here. I don't know what Epstein's statue looks like. You know what I mean? Just say I did. Maybe we should do, I don't know. Let's see. Let's pick who don't we like? Who doesn't the left like? I mean, I guess we could like St. Peter frolicking with Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, I was going to say anybody who is named after a lake is named after them currently. That's usually probably who the left hates. So,
all right, well, just pick those two, put out there, Antifa shows up, tears it down that night.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do like the detail in that statue, though. They should have got that guy to do the Dwayne Wade statue outside of the, because that is brutal looking. But that's pretty good.
I was trying to think they didn't cast it out of bronze.
No.
Because each one would weigh 2 tons.
Yeah.
But did they use like a CNC type programming, whatever? Like, can you make this old stuff on a computer now and then rattle can it bronze, you know, to spray paint it?
3D printing. They probably made this thing and then put it up. Yeah, that seems legit. I like that he came out right away and was like, mad about holding hands with a dude. That's why I love Trump. He's like, I totally fuck Stormy Daniels and I don't hold hands with dudes. Okay, that's what I love about it.
3D printed, yeah, probably. There's also there's a bad soccer statue. Who's the bad soccer statue of?
Oh.
Ronaldo.
Okay.
There's a bad soccer Ronaldo statue. And by the way, I don't know. Do you think they did that shit to like George Washington? Like, do we really know what George Washington looked like?
Yeah, I remember having a picture in my high school library and going, how do we all know exactly like that was the dude? Because they never showed him smiling because they said he had wooden teeth.
Right.
I'm like, at some point, wouldn't those things rot out? Wouldn't you get an infection? Wouldn't you die from some sort of like medical condition by having wooden teeth? I feel like.
Also, he lived in a time where we had ivory and stuff. And there were great smiths, that could carve out of alabaster and stuff. I don't know why you'd do one out of.
Oh, Lordy, look at that. That's amazing. We could do that.
Ronaldo looks like he's got Down syndrome. like if you take a Down syndrome guy and you give him a hot dog and you tell him there's cheese inside of it, that's the look he makes.
Wouldn't somebody, whoever was supposed to put this thing out, look at the guy who sculpted this and say, we got to melt it down and start again. We can't put this out to the public.
I feel like with statues, let me explain what a statue or a carving or bronzing or a head, a bust. Here's the process. Nobody says, I would like you to build me a custom home. How long will it take? And then you go, well, it's going to take about 17 months. And I go, I'll be back in 17 months in one day. You hit the job site like twice a month or every Friday, and you walk around, and invariably the person who's paying for it goes, ooh, where are you going to put the tub? Mm-hmm. No tub in the master suite. When the tub goes in the guest suite or whatever. Tons of stuff, everything from I don't want this outlet here to here's what I want my island to look like, but you can't just leave and come back when it's done, because you're going to open the front door and you're going to see a bunch of shit you didn't really like that they did wrong. Mm-hmm. And I feel like with statues, whoever the statue is of, they got to show up once a week and sort of check progress. Yeah. Or why don't we just get the Madame Tussauds wax house, whoever's doing the wax stuff. The wax ones are dead nuts on every single time. You literally you see Kim Kardashian posing next to her wax museum pose, and you can't tell which one is Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I was going to say they should start out, because I come from the land of butter sculptures. Start with the butter sculpture.
Start with butter.
And then you take the plaster of Paris, you get the form, and then you form from there. That way you know it's correct.
Or you end up with Ronaldo.
Yeah.
All right.
Man,
what else
brutal.
you got?
Rhode Island high school coach who did naked fat test sentenced to 1 year of probation. This happened on Monday. A judge sentenced a former high school basketball coach to a year of probation after he spent decades asking hundreds of male student athletes if they were shy or not before asking them to get naked so he could check their body fat. Turns out that he was actually found not guilty on second-degree child molestation and second-degree sexual assault in a case that scrutinized the so-called naked fat test, but then was later given 2 counts of a lesser degree, 2 counts of misdemeanor battery. So throughout the nearly 6-week trial, defense attorneys for Thomas argued that the tests were wrong, but not a crime.
Well, once you get into your underpants, how much more do we need to see if you're fat or not?
Yeah, we kind of know. I mean, there's a lot. Everybody's wearing the V-neck T-shirts again, and they are not quite as form-fitting as they used to be. So a lot of dudes with tits out there walking around these days.
Yeah, I think you can kind of tell through a dress shirt and the V form. You're right, the V form. And there's dudes with titty syndrome, and then there's women with huge upper arm syndrome.
Yeah.
And I'm like, could you pick a shirt that's a little more flattering for you? Because I can see your man titties from across the mall, and I see that fucking Nate Newton upper arm from across the mall, and it's like there's such a thing as long sleeves or hoodies or things that don't accentuate this thing so much.
Wear dark, wear layers.
Yeah, that's right. Vertical stripes.
Yeah. My high school, up until about maybe 3 years before I got there, they made the boys swim naked in class, gym class, naked.
Really?
Yeah. And we looked it up. There's a whole thing about it that was online. Hibbing High School, if you Google it, obviously be a little cautious about what you Google. But yeah, they would they made you swim naked. The boys had to swim naked up until, I think 11th grade. Girls got to wear a suit. And then I think it was a few years before I got there, like the late 80s, early 90s is when they finally got rid of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Dudes naked, but just with dudes.
Just with dudes, yeah. Yep. So they would actually, folklore says that there was a bunch of dudes in swim class that were doing the class, and somebody did not lock the door, and there was a woman who opened it up, and there was just a bunch of dudes standing on the edge of the pool naked. So after that is when they started chaining and barring the door so nobody could walk in. And there used to be these big giant curtains that if they weren't pulled back, you could see right into the lunchroom. So if there was a little sliver of daylight, you could stick your eyes up to the glass and basically see these kids naked.
I don't know if we talked about this, but there's something going on because I have found myself as an old dude walking through the locker room at the spa, dropping the towel, getting naked, getting in, and every guy's wearing trunks now. Like, guys, first off, there was no such thing back in the day of being in the men's side of the spa in the locker room wearing trunks in a jacuzzi. And there was no trunks in the sauna, no trunks in the steam room. There was you might have the towel wrapped around you. You drop the towel and slide into the whatever.
Yeah.
But guys are modest now. Like, that's a whole new vibe. And I don't know, is it weird? Is there something weird going on with dudes? Are the peckers getting smaller now with the testosterone levels going down and the sperm production going down and guys getting chubbier?
Yeah.
When guys get chubby, there's more circulating estrogen because it makes your dick smaller,
Absolutely.
essentially. So is it guys being self-conscious and like having a small pecker and being kind of chubby now? Or is it a social thing?
Maybe. There was also the stories that came out of, that gal who was like a social influencer, and she took pictures of that naked elderly woman in the women's locker room, and I think the caption said something, "If I have to look at it, so do you," and then posted them online. I think. Yeah. So maybe there's a little bit of sort of you're a little afraid that maybe there's some sort of camera, something lurking. You're not really sure. But speaking of that, I was watching the new Superman.
Good thought.
I was watching the new Superman on the flight yesterday, and Lex Luthor, the dude who plays Lex Luthor, probably the same age as Gene Hackman. When they both filmed their Supermans, Gene Hackman's voice substantially deeper than the dude who plays Lex Luthor now.
Interesting.
And everybody else, and I was like, wow, even my voice is so much higher than some of the other guys that are, probably 10 years older than me.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, could be a lot of microplastics.
Absolutely.
But you're right, could be who wants to be filmed naked.
Yeah.
I got a good gym dick, so I don't care. As I was talking to the Jillian about.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman is 48 while filming Superman.
Oh, the first one. Okay. And how old's the dude so he must be in his 40s now. I can't remember the guy's name.
How was Superman? I didn't see it.
He's younger than that. Well, but still, Gene Hackman's voice couldn't have gotten that much deeper between the ages of 29 and 48. I imagine. It's good. It's so CGI'd, but the story's good and it's fun and it's got some great jokes in it, and it's James Gunn, so you can't really go wrong.
Yeah, I like
But,
James.
yeah, it's great.
All right, one more.
One last one here. All right, so video of this. Tom Brady makes some comments. He's receiving a lot of criticism for a statement he made on the air during the Cowboys-Bears game after Cowboys wide receiver George Pickens repeatedly slammed his helmet into the ground.
Arms, and Pick's not happy. Yeah, those helmets can be... It's like the dog at home.
Timeout on the field. Wow.
Kick
Right
the dog, throw the helmet.
Man, oh
whatever
man. Right.
Yeah.
So kick the dog.
You know, I always think about this stuff when people go, "Oh, people are upset." I go, "No, they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah.
They're just fucking talking.
Yeah,
No one gives a shit."
Yeah,
it's weird. It's a weird thing because I do see the TMZ chicks goes, "He shouldn't be able to." And it's, "Oh, shut up, bitch. Just shut up. There's real problems." Tom Brady doesn't kick his dog. He said, "Kick the dog." He doesn't kick his dog.
It's a phrase. It's what people would say, you know. And until he shows up to game day wearing a coat made of 101 Dalmatians like Cruella de Vil, I'm going to go ahead and just give this a pass and just say he was just saying, making a phrase that is a very common phrase when you're frustrated.
He should lean into it. He should go, "That quarterback's more mobile than Mike Vick. I have not seen a guy who had a cannon." Michael Vick, cannon for an arm, more mobile than anybody else in the league at the time. Mike Vick, people talk about him as a mobile quarterback. Great man.
Yeah.
He's a great man. Humanitarian. NFL Player of the Year, Man of the Year. Got the Walter Payton Man of the Year in 91. A lot of people don't remember that. As a matter of fact, geez, what time is it? Because I got to get going. I'm going to meet Mike Vick. We're going out for cocktails, and then it's off to his backyard where he said he just wanted to give me a tour of the kennel.
Oh, he just sent me a text. "What up, dog? I can meet you at 5 p.m. I got to get blowing, guys. I'm sorry about that."
Yep.
Yeah. You read the stories about people that were upset about it. They said one lady was like, "Oh, kick the dog, Tom. Don't you have a pooch?" Someone else wrote, "You have some explaining and apologizing to do."
I do love the people with the amount of time that they have. Look, I got my life. Everybody, that's all I got. I got 2 hampers. One is a hamper filled with fucking troublemakers who don't pay taxes, who cause crime, who spit their gum out on hot sidewalks, who just all the stuff we don't, who let their dog shits on your lawn and they don't pick it up. And then there's another hamper, and those are the taxpayers and the job creators. Tom Brady is in the happy hamper. You understand?
Yeah.
He's in the good hamper. I give people, what has Tom Brady paid in taxes his life?
I couldn't even imagine. I mean, well into the millions. Probably more than what I make a year, I imagine.
He has, I'm going to say that Tom Brady has paid well over $100 million in taxes quite easily in his youngish time on this planet so far. So he's not part of the problem. There are other people who've been arrested 61 times who are getting the court appointed, whatever. They're in the other hamper. And once you're in this hamper, I don't really have time for you. I don't bust your chops. He's a fucking taxpayer who loves his kids. I'm done with him. Charity work, what have you. Never have enough energy to go, I got to settle this guy's hash.
Yeah.
Do not.
Family members sometimes. I always think about it. Like, we had a conversation the other day where I said that my family was talking about there's going to be a civil war.
200 million is the conservative estimate.
Wow.
On
no way. Man, that is worth it how much he's paid.
How much he's paid?
Get out.
Oh, well, if you're really, you pay a lot in this country. So if you made a lot of money, you're going to pay a lot of taxes.
Man. I'm so glad I'm broke. I will never pay anywhere near any of that. But I'm also not the guy who complains about these guys. I sort of empathize with them and go, if it wasn't for guys in like you and people in your position, I would have no career whatsoever.
That's right.
Yeah.
What were you saying about a family member?
Oh, so we were talking that my family said, well, they're going to cause a civil war. The civil war is coming. And I said, have you guys not been online? We're not fighting on a battlefield. We're fighting on social media. That is our civil war. We put down guns and we're picking up keyboards, and that's where the civil war is happening.
Fighting on Starbucks coffee cups.
Yeah.
That's the battlefield. We're using Sharpies like bayonets. Like retarded people. All right, you can go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. Heather and Jillian got themselves a podcast. What do you want? And it's coming out on Friday. Rudy, what dates we got for you this weekend? Reno, Laugh Factory. That's a cool place.
Yeah, going to Reno this weekend. And then please, October 3rd, I'm going to be back in northern Minnesota. I'm going to be at Jenkins, Minnesota, Snarky Loon Brewing. It's a veteran-owned brewery. These guys are great. I can't wait to come back to Minnesota. So please check it out. Go to rudypavichcomedy.com. Get some tickets. Would love to see you guys there.
And Rudy is funny, as I've mentioned before. So, till next time, it's Adam. For Rudy and Jillian and Heather saying, mahalo.
Brew Show.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on the church. Get on Monday. Get on that Drew's board for sin. Test specialist.
Wow.
All right, Drew.
You almost said it there. It's crazy.
Hot off the press is all the Tylenol talk.
Yes, Tylenol. Tylenol and autism. So what did you understand? What did you take away from that? Because I have my own sort of take on it.
I listened to both sides. It's always funny that the left just will dive in. You know, if Trump said, "Listen, we've linked stream water to autism," they'd go, "You did. It's got nothing to do, or you got to drink more stream water." Right. You know, nobody's gonna. It's like it's weird what they fight. They fight everything. Everything. All right. But I learned that, I mean, that was the ivermectin thing. Like, everyone should have just went, I don't know, talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
I'm not a pharmacist. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it works for some people, not with others.
Yes.
But no, it's horse pace, Joe Rogan and stuff. That's when I realized, okay, you guys are nuts. And by the way, here's what you did to your brand. When Rolling Stone comes out with their hot take on Tylenol and autism, guess who's not listening?
Right.
Everybody.
Right.
Because you guys lie about everything and you never stopped.
Yes.
So, my thing in general is putting extra things in your bodies probably should be prevented.
Correct. Especially when there's a very delicate system growing inside.
Right.
Where the chromatin is open, that it can be errors in the replication process.
Also, it makes sense to me that if we had, 12 vaccinations 30 years ago, now we have 87, that maybe this has become a cottage industry. Also, I am willing to have my mind open between pharmaceutical companies and profit and not putting the American citizen first.
Yes.
As I told you 200 billion years ago, Drew, physician.
What did you tell me? Where I was wrong again.
Oh, you remember this.
Okay.
This is
Nemba berries?
This is 25 plus years ago. You were talking about patients of yours that had opioid addiction, and you would tell me some of them took 80 hydrocortisones or whatever.
Vicodin.
80 a day.
Yes. That's a fact.
This is over 25 years ago. And then I said, well, that sounds like pretty good business for the pharmacy. And for the pharmaceutical companies. And you said, oh, no. And I said, well, why not? You sell this product and there's people eating 8. By the way, I'm not going to make you rich consuming this product because I average 3 of those painkillers every 4 years.
Listen.
I mean, you get dental surgery or whatever.
Right.
You get a prescription. By the way, I have vices. That's not one of them. But I'm saying that company that makes that would go out of business if I were their customer.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I said to you at the time, look, whether you're selling hot dogs, if everyone goes vegan, you ain't making money. You hope there's people eating 80 hot dogs a day and you make money. And then you said, no, they would never do that. They would never think that way. And I said, why not? I don't get it. That's their business. They're moving more product. And then later on, they got accused of all this stuff they got accused of. So, okay. So hold on. Let me finish. If you want me to think that pharmaceutical companies can't do things that are somewhere between disreputable and evil I just went through it with COVID.
Yes. And with the opioids.
And the opioids. So I'm not buying that premise.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't mean they can't provide something and make a profit and everyone benefits from it. That's on the table. But this sounds like we're going down that road with all the vaccinations, number one. Then when it comes to Tylenol, yes, these guys... Also, the autism thing, when it goes from 1 in every 5,000 to 1 in 26 or something. Yes, it's a good time to examine what that is. Now, I also don't buy into this whole spectrum BS because we opened up the door and the definition of everything, and now everyone's on the spectrum of everything all the time, and we convinced all the kids they're on. I talked to my son about this when he was in high school. He told me almost every kid he knows says they're on the spectrum of something.
Sheesh.
And I said, we ruined them.
Yeah.
We made them believe that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many people are actually autistic versus 25 years ago.
So you're saying that issue of we're identifying it more frequently has a significant impact on the data.
It has to.
Okay.
And that's what we're doing. Look,
so that's one issue.
Well, let's do this one. Let's go to your favorite subject, rape. Okay, 1 in 1,000 women was raped in 1962. Now it's 2 out of 3 women have been raped in 2025. How's that possible? Well, we changed the definition.
You have to share the violent crime.
No, I'm not going to do that joke. But all right, maybe later. But what I'm saying is your boyfriend drunk rolling over on top of you in the middle of the night, that is now rape. It didn't used to be counted as rape, right?
Yes.
So thus we have many more victims.
Yes.
So if you're going to start getting creative with the counting, then I'm not sure what that's going to do with the data versus, like what I'm saying is 25 years ago, 1 in 500 women was raped. Now it's 2 out of 5. Okay. Does anyone say we have a rape epidemic? And the answer is no, because we all know they changed the accounting.
They were sort of saying that kind of stuff in the 15 years ago.
Right, but we don't really look at it that way. We went, they changed the definition of what this is.
It's how they squash young men. It's how they...
Right. So how is it really that percentage of people that are autistic, or is it just the folks that are on the spectrum?
So that's an issue, is that it is being identified more frequently, but most of it is in younger population, and you would expect it to be across the lifespan if indeed it was just an identification issue. Okay.
All right. So the MAHA movement says, Tylenol, and then MSNBC jumps out and says there's another study. I tend to believe the MAHA guys. I listened to them all through COVID. They were right about everything. They got tons of studies. They crunched tons of stuff. And
it was mostly based on meta-analysis, which are not the most reliable medical studies. But they said there's a signal. Why not avoid the Tylenol? Okay. Which I have been in the position forever. Pregnant women should take nothing. Like you said at the beginning, they should take nothing, period. That's end of story.
No, I said everyone should take nothing.
Everyone's not a bad idea, but especially pregnant women. But here's the absolute irony. There's only one medication the American College of Physicians allows during pregnancy.
Let me write this down.
Yeah.
Go, Drew.
Hydroxychloroquine.
What?
The one medication that the American College of Physicians says
my pharmacist won't prescribe it.
Yeah, I know.
Hydroxychloroquine.
It's so inert and so benign.
But Anderson Cooper told me, what?
It's crazy. I still think it's a bad idea, by the way. Anything during pregnancy is a bad idea, but that's the one that is recommended to continue during pregnancy.
No, Drew.
So what I actually appreciated was, you have to watch that press conference rather carefully, because Trump got up there and said, look, these guys are saying they're seeing a signal. They're talking like scientists. They can't say don't take the Tylenol. He goes, I can say it. Don't take it. I'm using common sense. Don't take it. There's a signal. Why would you take it? And then people jumped into, well, what about inflammation? Acetaminophen is not an anti-inflammatory. It is not. And I can think of 0 conditions. I may be crazy high fevers, but even when there's a number of ways to lower the temperature, but then you take the risk reward into analysis, and then you might use the acetaminophen.
When do you need Tylenol?
I don't think and when the fever's over 105,
so
you might want to do it then.
It's really to break a extremely high fever.
Yes.
It's not gonna.
And there's a bunch
you
of
don't
other
need
stuff
it for 101.
No.
Why not?
Because it might have a risk with autism. You could use it for 101 if you're not pregnant, but you don't need it.
Yeah, look,
I mean, technically it's over 103 for children. I'm thinking you're worried about the fetus over 104. Yes, there are certain temperatures where and again, it's not an anti-inflammatory. So it's not about the inflammation. It's about the fever itself and the effect on the fetus. There might be worth the risk in that situation.
well, it's such a weird thing with
And let doctors do their
pregnancy.
job again. Use common sense. Let doctors do their job.
I mean,
Let them decide
women,
when.
they're not allowed to eat sushi when they're pregnant,
Correct.
because there's some risk of
That's right.
something.
That's
They're
right.
not allowed to drink. I mean, there's just everything. So why not just add this to the everything list?
Exactly. And by the way, there's some with all the things on that everything list. If somebody's really sick with something, you're going to risk using that everything list to save the pregnancy and the mom.
I can also tell you from firsthand information and experience as a uninsured, unmotivated, broke person, you can gut out almost anything. Like the high fevers
I mean,
and the pain
103,
and the
104,
whatever.
you can get brain damage from that, and you want to be careful. You get
Not
seizures.
this hombre.
But the point is that I think I said 106. That was wrong. That was
I'm not
wrong.
saying cardiac arrest. I'm saying the stuff you run to the pharmacy for.
That was my point.
You can ride this stuff
that was my
out.
point,
I've
is that
ridden out so many
healthy person,
things.
yes,
You
yes.
just suck it up. I mean, you ride it out.
But they're not saying don't use Tylenol for your 18-year-old male. They're not saying that. They're saying if you're a pregnant woman, common sense.
All
Avoid
right.
it if you
So
can.
why the spike in autism?
They're looking into it. I was reading I'm surprised how much their data there is linking. Here's one of the things I'm surprised by. I was just sort of casually looking through some of the data, and some of the animal models really link vaccines to brain issues. I was shocked at how many of those models were out there.
Okay. How much? I mean,
But let me just say, but by the same token, I'm also surprised in population studies how little of it we see associated with vaccine. So I'm not sure what to
You
make
don't
of
want
it.
the hepatitis B vax, right?
Let's make your comment first. That's a bigger conversation. Let's get into it.
Okay. My comment is the fewer things you can put into your body, the
Yes.
better.
Yes.
And we, antibiotics were a God's gift breakthrough several years ago, and now we're seeing that people who had too many antibiotics. Look, you want to know the healthiest people on the planet? Amish people.
Yeah.
You want to know the second healthiest people? People that have an outdoor dog that comes in and sleeps on their bed at night. Like the sort of sunshine and hard work and exposure and all that kind of the less stuff you can put into your body, the better it's going to be overall, big picture. Sorry, and the vaccine schedule of 81 or whatever the hell it is, it sounds like to me exactly what it is. Way too much. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the schedule is with the Amish kids, but I'm going to go 0.
And there are some real questions about the safety of the hepatitis B vaccine. I was around the research. My residency director was very involved with it. And we were developing hepatitis B vaccine for mother to fetus transmission during delivery in China, in the Asian region, where they still have a problem, okay? They have an issue where it's not being fully identified the way it should be, chronic hepatitis B, and they have a certain amount of exposure that needs to be limited. They need to take the hepatitis B vaccine. Day 1, if you have chronic B, is when you give it. So I looked around the literature recently trying to figure out how many people with chronic hepatitis B in the United States don't know they have it, okay? If you don't know you have chronic hepatitis B and you have chronic hepatitis B, that is our problem. That's the medical problem. We should be identifying that well before delivery in 100% of cases. And I couldn't get any meaningful data of people who were delivering babies that had hepatitis B that didn't know they had it, okay? Mm-hmm. And essentially all of them were either IV drug users or from endemic regions. China, certain parts of Asia. Mm-hmm. That's it. There's nobody else that has it, and you should be testing everybody that comes in from those regions or has a drug history. They should all be tested. It's a simple blood test, no big deal. We do it routinely. So if we're not identifying people with hepatitis B for whom their baby needs the vaccine, that's a medical problem. It's a malpractice problem.
It makes sense.
And I
by
saw
the way.
a doctor say, "Oh, we're going to see a spike in liver cancer now. That's what's going to happen." It's like, because we didn't give everybody hepatitis B on day one? No, that's ridiculous.
It's also when you hear the studies and the reports and the behind the scenes and the stuff they get, FOIA stuff and everything like that, you can hear when the pharmaceutical companies are talking and they're like, well, we're going to have trouble raising money with this whole MAHA thing because people are not going to want to invest because they're cutting back on the vaccine schedules and stuff. They're a company. They're not a company that sells cured meats. They do billions and billions of dollars worldwide worth of stuff. Yes, they're going to fight for their company. And it makes sense. The vaccine schedule to me to sort of give everyone everything before 6 months of age doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense to me either.
Spread it out makes sense.
Yep.
Doing too many of them doesn't. It all. And you're talking to a guy who just. The only thing Drew ever said that was smart was no free lunches in nature.
Yes.
Just you are messing with nature, and there will be downstream sort of unintended consequences, side things when you get involved with stuff. And that's we're the 13-year-old is transitioning. Put them on blocking agents for their you don't think. There's going to be some issues down the road on hormone blocking agents or whatever. You don't think when you get in and you start messing around with the human body that there's not something down the road. Now, look, there are things that need to be done. You need to have your wisdom tooth pulled because it's impacted. All right, go take it out. You know what I mean? Best case scenario, you never touch anything.
Right.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Be right back after this.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Look, you all spill your guts to a lot of people that may not be professionals. Why not see a professional? They know what they're doing. Therapeutic practices work. Guess what? It can be better if you actually go someone who's trained, licensed. And I just don't understand people's resistance to it, particularly these days when you have things like BetterHelp. You don't have to sit in a waiting room. There's no embarrassment. It's all you can do it right now on your computer. And of course, seeing trained, licensed individuals. BetterHelp has been doing this for over 10 years. They've matched over 5 million people worldwide. And with BetterHelp, you just jump online, fill out a short questionnaire, and they match you with the right therapist. Flexible, convenient. As I said, you can do it from not just your couch, you can do it from wherever you are right now. Zoom Therapeutics, this sort of, essentially it's telehealth. It works. It's a good thing. So stop treating your buddy as your therapist. I mean, yes, friends are important. Don't get me wrong. But if you need to talk to somebody who actually knows how to help. Right, Daphne?
As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/AdamandDrew. That's betterhelp.com/AdamandDrew.
All right, so we have Trump in the press conference. So Andrew says, my take on this is I will not call this a breakthrough, but what I will do is I will say, why are you arguing with people who are just saying you don't need this? Let's not do it.
It's so weird.
Right. And that's just arguing. A lot of that's sort of chick think stuff. You know, I'm the one that just says it's no different than vaccines for young I should say the COVID vaccine for the young, healthy male. They're going, well, what about? And I'm like, it's unnecessary, so let's not do it. And then they go, it's perfectly safe. And I go, maybe it is. There's plenty of things that are perfectly safe. You know, I could get my son a colonoscopy next weekend. It's perfectly safe. Okay, it's safe. It's unnecessary.
By the way, it perfectly safe is there's no such thing in medicine.
Because you're going to put him under.
I did that for a friend of mine. She's a 38-year-old female. I was like, go do it. No big deal. They perforated her colon. She ended up with a colostomy.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That. Well, yeah, but the chances of that
low.
Yeah, I know. But my son's 19. He doesn't need a colonoscopy.
Exactly. Same thing with the vaccine.
He doesn't need this fucking vaccine.
The vaccine. There's a 0 probability of him being hospitalized with COVID as a young, healthy male. There's a non-zero probability of him getting myocarditis from the vaccine.
Right.
So that's it.
Boom.
Done. Don't get it.
Yeah, but take that math and bring it over to Tylenol.
Yeah,
That's all
same
I'm saying.
thing.
All right, let's listen to Trump.
The research, a lot of what they've been speaking about comes from right here, by research done by these people. And I just say it again, don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. And don't give it to your child after your child is born. And do all those other things, little things, just spread out your visits, et cetera, on the vaccine. And I want to thank everybody. This is a very important day. Thank you very much.
All right, the volume's a little low. But look, and there's another thing, too, I argue with people about all the time. It's like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Where was Joe Biden? Joe Biden was eating a scoop of ice cream on the beach his entire presidency. Now, look, you may disagree with whatever Trump said or says. I feel like he's out there trying to do something,
Trying to lead,
though.
yeah.
He's
Trying to help people, yeah.
Yeah, he's not autistic, but he'd like your kid not to be born that way. So whatever, try it.
Let's circle back to the painkiller thing, can't we? You want to do that?
Yeah.
Because it's really kind of complicated. You made a point which is valid, which is that the drug companies are going to make most of their money from people that use a lot of their product, right?
Yeah.
Turns out alcohol companies make a lot of their money from alcoholics. That's just the case. So that's given.
Yeah.
I was talking about a particular product called Vicodin at the time, which at the time was available as a generic. Okay. And what I was talking about was that people got over 80 tablets a day, which happened not infrequently, would get deafness. And if you remember, that happened to Rush Limbaugh. He got deafness from excessive use of Vicodin.
Is that what caused that?
Yeah. And it was a thing I was seeing a bit of. It was nasty. What you were talking about with so the Vicodin was not even manufactured by the drug companies any longer. It was a generic, so it's pennies a pill. Not that was made in India. Okay, OxyContin was what you were talking about, and that was an expensive pill, and that was being overused, and that was popular. But it wasn't. What people missed on that was that the drug companies were not the cause of that. The doctors were. The pain management world created the problem. And of course, the drug companies blew wind into the sails of those doctors, but it was created by us. A lot of the stuff that is being created, the COVID stuff, created by us. A lot of it is created by the medical providers. And really, you need to be careful whenever there are remember me talking about this? Evangelical physicians like Deborah Birx, like the pain management world in the 90s, watch out. They do harm.
I agree. Listen, sadly, the COVID thing, between all the doctors and, I mean, Andrew, that clip, some of this stuff has to be revisited just to have your mind melt. That MSNBC clip with the two black women under the pretense of hair relaxer.
Oh yeah,
hair relaxers causing cancer with black women. It's a 6.5 minute segment.
Yeah,
and the title of it, does hair relaxer link to cancer with black women who use the product? Yeah, right. And they have paraffins or something in it. I can't remember what it is. But the whole point is this: the whole thing is bizarre because the woman who's anchoring that story has a natural. Her hair is just as it was, Cleopatra Jones style, The doctor who's explaining how dangerous this is clearly dips her head in a bucket of hair relaxer every day before she leaves for work.
Oh my God.
So already it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be like DJ Qualls is going to talk to Arnold Schwarzenegger about the dangers of steroids, and then Schwarzenegger's going to explain there's a danger in steroids, but he's clearly juicing, you know? So it was like a weird combo to get out of the gate. Then, after dedicating less than half the segment to hair relaxing, they just kind of seamlessly get into why you need to have your infant vaccinated for COVID, which wasn't part of the heading on the thing. Said, does this cause cancer? We're not getting it. Then proceeds to spend more time talking about vaccinations.
In a very bizarre way, as I recall.
And then this woman does an insane long soliloquy about how safe and how important it is to get your infants vaccinated.
Didn't she say something about all the babies dying from COVID or some craziness?
It was all bullshit.
Yeah.
It was all wrong. And then you're like, is this CDC and the drug companies and whomever and CNN, is it all just one big cabal? And I guess
it was
the
one
answer
giant
sort of yes.
hysteria. It was an hysteria. It was
But
it was a mass formation.
But hold on. It was a hysteria where certain people profited greatly.
And certain people who like to, tell other people how to live consolidated their power and their ability to do that.
Right. And then at some point, JAMA and New England Journal of Health and all these people, they all got weird and corrupted and woke. And
that was shocking to me.
And so did all the psychological, publications and stuff. Like, oh, man, assigned at birth is a woman. Like, oh, my God, you're all gone.
Well, it's two things. One is you got to listen very carefully to RFK Jr. He said something the other day that really surprised me. He goes, you know what? I don't think we're going to fund research that's published in Lancet, New England Journal, and I forget his third journal. We're just not going to allow them to be published there. And NIH publishes most of the, not just publish, they fund most of the important research in this country at some point, and they're saying we're not going to allow that to be published in the major journals. That was a big deal. But the other thing is, when you talk about, I was standing in Washington, D.C. airport in Dulles when you went, oh my God, they've got everybody. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And I was like, that was the funniest thing. Tell, and you're just tilting at that again. Say it again more completely. That everybody got into the hysteria. Everybody.
Yeah.
You got the church involved. Everybody was in it.
I'll show you this clip. Now, it's about the halfway point where they start talking about just the visual of the woman with Cleopatra Jones's hair and then the other one with Jennifer Aniston's hair. And the one with Jennifer Aniston's hair is talking about how dangerous hair relaxer is to women of color.
Wow.
So we're already off to a weird and surreal start.
Yeah.
Are we not?
Yeah.
All right. Probably about the middle.
This is it, I think.
Yeah. This is it. Yeah. But it's the middle. Sorry. Go ahead.
Keep further out.
Well, the middle's the middle.
Yeah.
You're not at the middle.
Yeah.
I'm saying the middle. Okay.
There's what
when I say the middle, I mean the middle.
We die at younger ages.
One of the things I've talked about on the show is that my dad is a biologist, but specifically, he was a tumor oncologist. So I like to shorthand it. My dad was looking for the cure for cancer, everybody. That was what his job was for over 25 years. So I just know from him that there are so many different chemicals and so many things, like you said, food and cosmetics that can cause cancer. But what are we talking about here? How do we check the product?
By the way, she's fighting back on Maha today.
Before we
I'm sure she
know
is.
what chemicals we should avoid. What ingredients should we be looking for?
Right. So basically, if you cannot name an ingredient, look it up to see what it is. There are plenty of apps that you can literally scan the zip or the barcode to tell you whether or not this chemicals that make up this product have been deemed safe and or more risky for you. And it needs to be pushed not only on the consumer to do background.
She doesn't know what she's saying.
Yeah.
We need to have policies in place of where we say that these things should not be allowed within products.
Hold on, Andrew, I'm going to stop you for a second. We didn't pull this off our computer?
Yes, I did.
We did.
It was I remember in the last quarter.
No, it's all right. Well, go forward a little more. No, it was more time. I did a timestamp on it.
Okay.
So this may be the first part.
Yeah.
Sorry, just go from there. Oh, yeah. No, don't go from where you were. Just go ahead. I don't know.
But
go almost to the end.
But the comedy, though, both these women will now be saying Maha's down the line, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny.
That's the funny part. Go ahead.
Particularly if you're already high risk because of either your family history or because of the demographic by which you belong to.
All right. So somebody. All right. So this thing's got to be like 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Somebody cut
or something
off the first
like
part.
that.
Yeah.
No. Drew, do not. Let's not get the poor boy confused.
All right.
Is this thing 3 minutes and 33 seconds or something? Some version of that.
The poor boy.
3 minutes and 29 seconds. Correct.
Okay. I was way off, wasn't I?
Yeah,
okay.
Off.
We took it and broke it into two parts. This is the first part. This is the hair relaxer part.
Yeah.
The second part is these same two women for 4 minutes talking about vaccines for kids. Now,
got it. Let me grab that. Let me find
yeah,
that.
we whacked it into two parts. I don't know how, and again, we label things in an insane way, so it's not always easy to find. But we took this 7-minute thing and whacked it into two chunks. But you're right; these two right now are railing against Maha.
Isn't that funny?
Well, I have a lot of conversations with women, probably especially, where I go, who cares? Just let him try. Let him help.
Yes,
he was trying to help. I don't fuck that guy. I don't trust that guy. It's like, just leave him alone. Just let him do it. Just don't get... It's an interesting thing. I feel like I have a lot of conversation where I go, just leave it alone. Just don't get involved. Just don't get involved.
Well, think about
just
this.
leave it alone. And they go, I'm getting involved. And it's weird.
Well, let's decipher this a little bit. So let's just take the Maha announcement. They're making advising. They're suggesting, and you're saying, hey, let them keep suggesting. Let them keep going. When Newsom says you can't eat outside, they're like, well, listen to the governor. Listen to him.
Right.
How can you maintain the same? How do you have both thoughts?
Right.
I can't do it.
Agreed. All right, Andrew, maybe for the next show. Did you find it?
No, I'm looking for it right now.
Well, it's weird. Like, so what do you punch in when you look for it? How'd you find the first half? Let's see.
So I backed up our entire old search computer onto a hard drive because we had to switch computers because that computer was dying. So I searched MSNBC hair relaxer, and now I'm looking for MSNBC vaccine supercut.
Vaccine, child. COVID vax, children, MSNBC. But it'll be, the hair will be involved, might be in a long form one as well. Anyway.
Correct.
We'll look for that.
Yes,
all right, we'll get it for the next show. You can go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. What do you got, Drew?
Doctor.com. Follow me on Twitter at DRDREW, Dr. Drew, and look for our show 2 o'clock, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Pacific time. Some really interesting guests coming up.
So, till next time, Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying...
Ace Man, watching ABC the other night. Preview for the show The Rookie. One of the characters says, I'll do my best, Sarge. Sarge says, don't do your best, do my best. Frank in Houston, get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Yeah, you can say, now as I think about it, it's perfectly fine to say, I'll do my best. I have a lot of people say to me, I did my best. And when you did your best and it's still a shit show, that means you're shit. Which is a weird thing that people don't realize, that when they screw the pooch and then announce they did their best, well, then what are we really saying? You're not capable of doing this job, and it's an easy job, so something is wrong with you.
Right.
I don't know. Half the time people give me excuses, it actually gets worse for them. You want to know what? You want to know what'll work for me all the time? Hey, what happened out there? I tell you, I was drunk. Oh, okay. All right. That's good. All right. Okay. Well, sober up and finish the job.
No answer to that, yeah.
Have a cup of coffee and then see if we can go finish it. But don't tell me you did your best, because you did your best and it still sucked. But I was drunk. Oh, will work. Go ahead.
All right. So we got some fun news today. Trump is facing criticism for referring to a female Bloomberg reporter as Piggy. And this is just a wonderful article. It's packed with chick think. But let's just start with this wonderful clip from X. Quiet, Piggy. Quiet, Piggy. It's very funny because, well, first of all, I'm reminded of Alec Baldwin and the quiet, and he called his daughter Piggy.
Everybody went nuts on Baldwin with that, and there's certain... Here's what I'm trying to figure out, Dawson. There's certain things that people are actually upset about, and then there's other things that they have to act upset about but aren't a big deal. Anything to do with a dolphin, you have to act. You have to act super upset about, and no one. But the whole Piggy thing was, she who was Baldwin's daughter, was probably going through a really shitty 14-year-old Hollywood chick phase and being super fucking shitty with daddy.
Sure.
And I've been there. I know how it goes. Teenage girls, especially out here, especially if mama's whispering sweet nothings into their ears, can get really shitty with daddy. And she'd been really shitty to Baldwin for a while and then broke a date or screwed something up or did something. And then he just called her little piggy.
Right.
And that's his fucking daughter. And I was like, get the fuck over it. And who gives a shit? And this is, by the way, this is a millionaire and a budding supermodel having problems. Please go find some real problems, people, would you? This isn't one of them. And I have to say that like all the time. So everyone went nuts over that piggy episode, and I'm going to be consistent. Baldwin is as far left as you can go, and Trump's as far right, and they hate each other with a white hot passion. And I shall defend Trump just like I defended Baldwin back in the day. I don't care.
And they have some commonality in this, which is nice to see. They like the word piggy, but you got to listen to some of the stuff in this article. Yes, this is not a problem.
Well, also
but the Guardian thinks it is.
There is an old school dude thing where you say stuff that you said 50 years ago and you still say it today. And all the college folks have figured out to make the transition into Latinx and saying words like problematic and quoting all the shit that never existed before. But the old school guys still say darn tootin' and stuff like that. And even the occasional Negro or colored or stuff like they just say shit they used to say. So you used to be able to call someone a little piggy. There's a Beatles song.
There is. Piggies, right?
Yeah, I think it's called Piggies.
But anyway, Manson used it as part of his.
Yes,
they're talking to me and trying me to start the race.
But anyway,
war,
the article.
So anyway, the
now
article
also
says,
is he talking to a fat chick? Is the question?
A good question.
Because his daughter.
If he is, then it could possibly be implied.
Yes,
worse.
his daughter. Okay, his daughter.
She's not fat.
Catherine Lucy, his daughter was probably 5'10" and 110 pounds at the time. So that's all right. But anyway.
Just listen to the way this is written.
In what publication, by the way?
The Guardian.
Oh, okay.
Donald Trump, who has a history of making extremely personal attacks on female journalists, referred to a Bloomberg news correspondent as a piggy during a clash aboard Air Force One on Friday.
Can I say this? Clash. Can I say this? When he talks about Biden, it's the most insulting thing that could ever be leveled toward another guy.
Sure.
He was bad. He was dumb. He didn't know what was going on. He was out of it. He was asleep all the time.
Took his picture out of the wall, put a picture of a pen.
Right. Why is that not a hate crime?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's a dude. I would much rather be called a piggy, especially if I was slender, than what he calls half the dudes he's talking about. Especially the former president of the United States and Joe Biden. I mean, he does not miss an opportunity to work in an insult to Biden. And it's somewhere between asleep or asleep at the wheel or dumb or dangerous and cause more damage to this country than any other president. The worst president. No one ever says walk it back or you're being rude. All right, but go ahead.
Well, you heard how the author described Trump at the beginning. Now we're on to the victim. Catherine Lucy, Bloomberg's White House correspondent, had taken advantage of a press opportunity with the president, known as a gaggle, to ask a question about the unfolding Jeffrey Epstein scandal and the possibility of the House voting to release all the files related to the case.
Oh, wait a minute. Gaggle, that means she's a goose.
Oh, careful.
Maybe he was just on the farm in his brain. You know, hey, Gaggle and Piggy and Goose and Mr. Cow over there. And Mr. Giraffe says... sorry.
So as Lucy started to ask Trump why he was behaving the way he was, if there's nothing incriminating in the files, he said, quiet, Piggy. And Jake Tapper said it's disgusting and completely unacceptable.
But let me explain what this is. Sorry. What this is, it's amusing. And I use this example sometimes, but when you talk to the crackpots, the religious crackpots, and the guys who run all these Middle Eastern countries, and you go, listen, if you don't get out of Syria in 2 weeks, we're going to bomb the shit out of you. And they go, you come near us and you'll feel the swift sting of Allah's sword upon your neck. And we go, oh, okay. Anyway, get the fuck out of Syria. We're going to bomb you, okay?
Right.
Like, you have a laugh. This, like, Jake Tapper's appalled, that's comical to Trump and J.D. Vance and anyone, any MAGA person. If you're not pissing him, if Jake Tapper's not pissed off, you're not doing your job.
Right, so he's using Jake Tapper first, and then he says former Fox News anchor Gretchen Carlson called the remark disgusting. And degrading. Now, here's where it gets really good. Our White House journalists perform a vital public service.
That's right.
Asking questions without fear or favor.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
What happened to 4 years of you with a guy who was comatose?
Now, all of a sudden, you have journalistic integrity, and we're supposed to say, oh, no, you're right.
I like when they go up there.
You didn't do your job for 4 years. We've had enough of your bullshit. Quiet, piggy.
Well, hold on. I did find out that Joe Biden's favorite ice cream is vanilla. So it's not like they didn't do anything.
Right.
And I did find out he had a birthday coming up.
Right.
So
Now,
they didn't do nothing, Dawson.
As I was going through this, I'll just get through this last little paragraph right here, and it just reminded me of your theory about chick think. I think it's bleeding all through this, especially right here. While name calling may seem harmless, coming from the head of our government, it often sets in motion a torrent of abuse towards the journalist, which not only impacts her ability to work, but also sends a chilling message to other women journalists who are confronting him with hard-hitting questions.
Right. So she could be in her editor's office later that week going, look, I finished a reporting on the border. And he goes, hey, piggy, get out of here. And then he starts laughing real hard. I know. They always do opens the door or whatever. By the way, this whole thing where, like, Trump is beneath the office of the president. Can you guys get the fuck over that? I think it's well established. He's not that guy. Now, I know what you guys would like. You would like Obama, who acts dignified and then fucks the country up and hustles race the whole time and gives a bunch of money to rogue nations and fucks our country up with his hateful fucking wife. Okay, you would like dignity in a fucked up country. I would like a guy who calls people piggies and a stout border. That's me.
And the other funny thing is the Democrats have released that coordinated Instagram message yesterday where they were calling on military officials to disobey unlawful orders. Whatever. Anyway, do you imagine my disappointment when, after reading this entire Chick Think article, it was written by a dude?
Oh, man. Well, as I say every time, there's plenty of dudes who can think like chicks.
Yep.
So here's an interesting concept for you, Dawson. You know my chick dude leg cross signal theorem?
Yeah.
So, you know, Trudeau and Newsom and Obama and every gay guy, every left-leaning guy who's interviewing Obama. By the way, there's a solidarity leg cross, too.
Sure.
Everybody who interviews Obama has to do a deep leg cross, too, because he has to sort of go, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yes.
So they do the deep leg cross as well. The only guy who doesn't, the most progressive guy who's on the left, who does not do the deep leg cross, which is a feminine thing, which is a sort of gay signaling thing, is Pete Buttigieg. The gay guy doesn't do the deep leg cross.
Yeah, he's a top.
He's a power top.
Yeah.
This is why I needed your opinion on this, Dawson. Now
It's got to be.
Well, let's
a lot to carry down there.
Let's break it down, right?
Okay.
Gavin Newsom and Justin Trudeau, they like plowing pussy.
Mm-hmm.
Katy Perry will tell you as much, and his campaign manager's ex-wife will tell you as well. So we don't have questions about them. The thing about what they need to do is they don't physically suck cock. They need to let you know they are down with the community. So it's essentially like, I'm going to go into a black church and talk black and pull out some hot sauce. I'm not black, but you'll know who I am when I explain they're going to put you all back in chains, or me ain't now scary no more, or whatever, I'm tired no more, whatever bullshit rich guy, whitey, lefty politician thing they have to do is go talk to the black church. But I'm not black, but I act black. Okay, so the Newsoms,
I'm not going to be tired
no more. Yeah, whatever.
So
Super embarrassing and insulting. And by the way, black people, this is on you for not being insulted. You should be insulted. But anyway, these guys, Obama, Newsom, Trudeau, and the list goes on, signal that we're down with the community, but I don't physically suck cock. But you understand.
You have to give that signal because you don't suck cock.
Yes, I don't. Yeah. I'm down with your cause, LGBT, whatever community.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Buttigieg does suck cock, but he can't get elected sucking cock.
No.
So what he has to do, and if you look at his haircuts and think about his speaking manner, like if you just saw a picture of Buttigieg sitting around and a picture of Trudeau sitting around, you think Trudeau was the gay one. He's got all the bracelets and all the accoutrements and the fancy socks. Buttigieg comes across as a Midwestern businessman, because what they're saying to him is, listen, you got to tamp down the cock sucking.
Yes.
Okay. We all know you suck dick. Yeah. Now let's not advertise.
Right.
And the other guys go the opposite way. And that's how you know, because I was watching him talk to the guys who have the deep leg cross, because they don't suck cock, but they're down with the cause. And he's sitting there crossing his legs like I cross my legs. And I think it's ironic that the one gay guy doesn't cross his legs like a gay guy.
It is ironic, but there's a reason for it, and I think you found it. I think you found it.
And with Buttigieg, I don't think you're going to see him like wearing a tank top at the Pride Parade or really talking a lot about, like here's my whole point.
Probably not. He's not going to pull an Adam Schiff and dress up like Raiders of the Lost Ark at Halloween. And
Kamala Harris is going to talk about being black all the time, even though she's half black.
Right.
She's going to talk about that all the time. Right. And she's going to talk about the gay community and the LGBT and the trans community. He's going to do much less of that talk, even though he's in that community, because he's trying to say to America, forget I'm gay, just vote for this guy. So there you go.
Well,
and the leg cross comes into effect.
Well, you know what Michelle Obama's going to do? She's going to tell us how we're not grown up enough. We're not ready. But the good news is she won't be running for president. Listen to this.
Okay.
So thank you all for being there for us.
You stepped into a role that carried a preconceived idea of femininity and wifedom that was founded on the landmines of racism and misogyny.
Whoa.
What the First Lady wears is one of the main ways, which you've already said, that a First Lady has talked about. It comes with so much historical expectation. How do you feel about the fact that the First Lady is an archetype for wifedom and femininity?
Yeah, I don't agree with that. Don't agree with that. It's
I think the part is coming up later.
It is a completely throwback.
I'll get to it. It's coming.
It's a definition that has no current status in how women actually show up in the world today.
Do you think that impacts the room that we've made for a woman to be president?
Well, as we saw in this past election, sadly, we ain't ready.
We ain't
That's
ready.
why I'm like, don't even look at me about running, because you all are lying. You're not ready for a woman. You are not. So don't waste
Or
my
like
time.
incompetence, or
You
what's she
know,
mean?
She means that we are misogynistic and we will not elect a woman. Although I really think she saw some polling data and that there was no chance in hell she could ever possibly win.
If you said to, I'll put it to you this way. By the way, they do this bullshit all the time where it's like, you know, women of color. You guys hate Candace Owens, and any woman of color disagrees with you more than anybody. So
Chick who was the
don't give me the woman of color
deputy governor or attorney general of Virginia.
Yeah, Winston. Sears. Right. Winsome. Yeah, you hate her. So don't give me the support women of color bullshit. Listen, I do not think that there is a guy I know in the Republican Party that would not vote for Margaret Thatcher over Tim Walz. If I just said, look, there's two people, they're going to run your country. One of them's Margaret Thatcher, the other's Tim Walz. They'd go, give me Margaret Thatcher. They have no fucking thoughts about her being a woman. We have thoughts about bad governance and bad ideas.
Right.
And a lot of the bad ideas come from the feminine side of
And
the
we have
aisle.
a merit-based philosophy, whereas we just want the right person for
so
the
she
job.
likes to do the whole misogynist, racist thing. That's by the way, that's all she does is go around making millions of dollars calling everyone misogynist and racist. But I do want to say this. Tracy Ellis Ross.
Who's that?
That's the woman. Thank you. By the way, I like when people do that. Yeah, I like when you say something. I miss that where you go, wait a minute, what time is it? Thank you. Thank you. See, I said we needed a clock, but you wouldn't listen.
Right.
But Dawson doesn't know what time it is. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for not knowing who the fuck that bitch is. So here's the thing.
I saw her earrings, though.
She is she's the ambassador to all blacks.
Okay.
So when Michelle Obama needs to be interviewed, Tracy Ellis Ross needs to interview her, right? Because she's
like an Oprah on a lower level.
She's the black whisperer. You have to have her on all this stuff. Her mom is Diana Ross.
Oh, how nice.
Okay. And her dad is Robert Silberstein, an old Jew. The point is, so first off, the reason she doesn't look black is because she has a Jewish dad, a millionaire Jewish dad, and then her mom's a millionaire as well. And then she pops up everywhere as sort of the go-to black person. Here's who we're going to when we're talking to blackberry. So someone's got to interview Michelle Obama. Who's it going to be? It's going to be the black chick who doesn't look black because her dad is an old Jew who's a Nepo baby, who's super rich, that no one even fucking knows what she does. But she was on the show Blackish. Now, we don't need her, and all she's going to be is friendly for the black person she's talking to. So I'm watching her do her softball with Michelle Obama. And then I realize she pops up in the Eddie Murphy doc. Now, the Eddie Murphy doc is filled with comedians, and it's got the Dave Chappelles of the world and guys like that, and people that have worked with Eddie Murphy. What's pops
she
up.
doing in it?
That's what I'm saying. I have no association. She made a movie with him 3 years ago called Candy Cane Lane that no one saw, no one heard of. And in the pantheon of Eddie Murphy movies, if he's done 80 movies, this one's 77th in terms of movies you'd like to see with Eddie Murphy in them. And they did the Arsenio Halls and the Coming to America and Working with Eddie or whatever, but because she's just the black ambassador and needs to be shoved into everything because she's a woman of color, they just shove her into everything. And now she's got, what year was Candy Cane Lane? You can look up. She was in one movie that's unknown with Eddie Murphy, and no one knows what the fuck she's doing on this thing. 2023. I didn't even know this movie came out, but the point is her mom is Diana Ross, and she needs to be here the same way you didn't know who she was with this. But so I was doing a 10 to 20 minute soliloquy about Tracy Ellis Ross. And by the way, it's fine. You're allowed to make a living. I wish my mom was Diana Ross. I got one of the other Supremes as a mom.
Hard for the money.
My mom couldn't afford a burrito Supreme. Forget about being in the Supremes. But fine, work and do all this stuff. It's just funny that you become this ambassador to this thing. And I don't know, but everyone loves her. No one else. By the way, it's a hate crime if you say anything bad about her. But she popped up in the Eddie Murphy thing, which, again, I would argue she doesn't need to be in a doc about Eddie Murphy since she's worked with him once a year and a half ago. And he was basically done with his career by then. But all right, fine. But as my buddy Kevin Hench brought up when I was going on my diatribe about why we don't need Tracy Ellis Ross in an Eddie Murphy doc, he mentioned something that I caught, but that I forgot, which is, and I'll just play it for you, because when you do a doc, I do docs, people sit down and they talk, and on occasion, when they're recounting things, there's a lot of like, well, let's see, I met Jimmy when I started at K-Rock in 95? Was it 94? Oh, yeah, sorry. 94, I met Jimmy when I met, there's a lot of that. And then you clean it up in post, because otherwise you have a lot of people talking to people off camera. Bob, when did I start at K-Rock? What? Oh, 94. Okay, there's a lot of that.
Sure.
All right, so she pops up like 3 or 4 times to comment on Eddie Murphy, who she made a movie with.
He just has a sieve of a brain. Like, is that the right word? Sieve? Like, it just takes everything in? Sponge. He's like a sponge brain. That's the way I would describe Eddie. He's a sponge brain.
Right. Why not just edit around the part where she said he had a sieve for a brain? And by the way, do we need her commentary?
What does that add?
It doesn't add anything. The point is that we're making an Eddie Murphy doc.
And she's talking about
She's
Eddie
a black
Murphy
ambassador.
way after he was Eddie Murphy. If she worked with him in 2023, yeah, of course he is, because he has years of experience to build on. He's not really a sponge. He's just a lot smarter and more experienced than you are.
He has a sieve for a brain. So it was kind of remind me one time when I was doing Vibe or whatever, and I think Sinbad was interviewing me, and he goes, "Man, you and Dr. Drew are so different. You're like that cartoon, Heckle and Jekyll." And I go, I'm picturing the two identical magpies, right? And I go,
yeah, that's not what you mean.
Yeah, maybe you wanted Fred and Barney or something, or any other duo.
He's thinking of
Yogi
Jekyll
and Booba.
Hyde.
He meant Jekyll and Hyde, but he said Heckle
cartoon.
He said, well, to be fair, he was thinking Jekyll and Hyde.
Yes,
and he said, you're like Heckle and Jekyll. I don't know if he said cartoon. He said Heckle and Jekyll. And I pictured the two identical magpies. And I just sat there because I was on TV. And I was like, I don't know. Do we circle back and I explain?
It's necessary, but yeah, it kind of is. Like, hey, Sinbad, no.
And it was like, well, one had a Cockney accent. The other just had a British accent. Like, I don't know. But they're the same. Yeah,
that would have confused him.
He said. Then I was like, his Dumbo audience doesn't fucking know what the fuck he's talking about. Anyway, all right. Do you have one more?
Sure, I do. Joy Reid.
Oh yeah.
She's now changed her outrage. She's now joining the outrage at trans people in locker rooms. She said, if I saw a penis, I would freak out too. We might have some video here. Yeah, let's see.
I would be disturbed. I'm telling you, I would be alarmed. I'm alarmed enough when I see a woman with her dangling boobies. Yeah. If I saw a penis in the ladies' locker room, I would freak out too. This is just. I mean, this is nothing against trans anybody. What it's saying is, if I turn around and I see a penis in front of me inside of the room, I would probably go to management and say, "Wait a minute, why is there a naked man in this room?"
That's
because just the
transphobia.
world we live in, just from a safety standpoint.
Can I say this? With all the fucking women identifying as men, how come there's zero naked chicks walking around any locker room I've ever been in identifying as men? And there's zero chicks that are trying out for the men's basketball team
Because
and
none of
volleyball
this
team.
is real.
I know. It would make sense that there'd be at least some incidents of me sitting in a Y walking around looking at a C cup or something.
Right.
I've never heard about that direction. I only hear about it the other direction, and I never hear about the woman or the biological woman trying to make the Pepperdine male volleyball team. I don't hear about any of that. So why wouldn't it be a two-way street is what I'm saying. And I do like
put on the man's track and field team.
That's right.
No.
I do like Stephen A. and gay Pete Buttigieg and all that kind of stuff. I will say this about black people. They are black before they're Democrats. Like, black is the number one thing they are. And Joy, as crazy as she is and as left-wing as she is, she's still a black woman. And white women don't want to see a dingling either, but
I don't want to see dangling breasts either. That's scared. Dangling boobies.
I don't know why she would start with that statement, because if you're in a female
Well,
locker
she's trying
room,
to say it's equally offensive in each way. She's trying to show that this is not a transphobic station. Hey, dangling boobies do the same thing to me.
I would say
no, they don't. Not in a women's locker room.
I would say we're going to have a very difficult time avoiding women's boobies in a ladies' locker room. I would assume.
Right.
But she, again, black folk, they're not down with nuttiness. White women don't want to see the dingling either, but they pretend they don't care or it's not an issue because they're aware of their party. The black folk will go, look, I'm not down with the LGBT and all the trans and all that shit. I may be left, I may love Obama, I love Michelle Obama, I love it all, but I'll draw the line at cock. And that's how they go.
Well, I would accept this with more praise if not 4 years ago she wasn't saying that everything she just said was a Republican talking point.
That's right.
So
they're also not smart in that they're wildly inconsistent.
And then I found out the name of her podcast and lost all respect for her. It's called Read This, Read That.
Oh, the name.
Come on.
Yeah.
With a name like that, you lose points if you can't come up with something very, very clever.
All right. Well, tonight, Fort Worth, Texas, Hyenas Comedy Club doing a couple of shows there. And then tomorrow, Woodlands, Texas.
My brother will see you there.
Woodlands?
Yeah.
Oh, tell him to come up and find me. Woodlands, Texas, Do-Si-Do, the Big Barn, a couple of shows there. And then Saturday, Walnut Springs, Texas, Rattlesnake Roadhouse. And then Corona, December 6th, me and Jay Moore at the Das Logos amphitheaters. Well, go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. Doss, you got anything coming up?
December 4th through 7th, I'm doing some shows with Rudy Povich at Delirious in the Silver Seven Casino in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah. And until next time, it's Adam for Dawson and Scott Galloway saying mahalo.